Welcome to the Live Full, Work Fun podcast. This is the show to encourage you to live your life to the fullest and do fun work that fuels your lifestyle. Hi, I'm your host, Gayla Scrivener. Every week, you'll be introduced to amazing guests, useful resources, and inspirational stories. You'll discover opportunities and perspectives to shape your version of living full and working fun. Before we get started with the show, I have a question for you. Are you a busy solopreneur struggling to find the time to consistently post to your social accounts? Well, the Scrivener Solutions team and I are introducing Scrivener Social, the easy-to-use social media scheduling platform paired with all of our workflows. It simplifies the entire posting process, saving you time and boosting your social media marketing efforts. Here's how it works. First, you subscribe to Scrivener Social, choosing the support level that best fits your needs. Second, we have onboarding calls to help you set up your account and give you the guidance for streamlining your posting process. Third, you implement your plan using our workflows to get more out of your social media marketing. Now, you could continue to do it alone, being frustrated and feeling guilty that you never get around to posting to your social accounts for your small business. Or you could save time, energy, and frustration by using an easy-to-use social scheduling platform backed by a support team that helps you streamline the whole process. You deserve a system that makes posting to your social media faster and more efficient. Go to scrivenersocial.com and subscribe today. Now, on to the show. This episode marks the third of our series where Fran and I discuss the 4 key elements that all marketing plans should incorporate: a website, consistent core content or an authority piece, social media, and email. Each of these components has a unique role and works in harmony to amplify your message. In this series, Fran and I are covering each component separately. Today, our focus is the role of social media in your marketing plan. Hi there and welcome. This is the show where we explore topics that help you create your lifestyle to live full and work fun. I'm Gayla Scrivener and I'm joined by co-host Fran Grosbeck. Hi, Fran.
Hey, Gayla.
What a fun show we're going to have today because we're going to talk about social media.
Just thinking the same thing, that the word fun and live full and work fun so associates with social, because it's a place you can have some fun. You can have fun in websites and newsletters too, but social, you could just have so much creativity, whether it be in little videos or animations or in your messaging, depending on if you have a personal brand or not, maybe sharing pictures of your dog, whatever it may be, but it really is a place you can have a lot of fun.
Exactly. And we've been talking about marketing for the solopreneur, the very small business. And we talk about websites. We talk about, today we're going to talk about social. And then there's email. And then there is the expertise piece of the messaging. And we're starting to call it the 4 pillars of marketing. I don't remember what I had called it in the past, but those 4 pieces really help solidify a good foundation for a marketing plan. And today is all about social media. And let's touch on first, let's go over on social platform. And social is meant to be social, friendly. You're building relationships. But when we're trying to grow a business, sometimes I think we get a little bit weirded out or complicated. It's like, okay, how do I sell things on social media? And we cloud our vision. So let's first talk about the social platforms out there and what should we choose? And why should we choose? They all have great benefits. Maybe we should be on all of them.
So there was a saying someone once said to me, it really stuck. It says, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I think about that all the time when it comes to social. And I start to talk to someone about social. Could you be on all platforms? Absolutely. It's easy enough to do. Create a profile, but without cultivating that profile, frequency, momentum, patience, persistence, all those things that go into be getting your message among the millions of other messages, creating the scroll stopping points for your viewer to catch you is takes some dedication. So I always recommend pick the platforms to start with that really resonate with you or are for your right customer and or you're comfortable with, whatever cocktail it takes for that, and then do it really well. I don't have a favorite platform. It really depends on the business you're in. I even see a lot of value in Pinterest. You're a crafter, you're a jewelry designer, a way to create your board, your vision board, a designer, interior designer, somewhere where there's a lot of creativity and you can get them right to your board and share things, recipes, all the, there's a purpose for each platform. I'm not going to recommend Pinterest for everybody, not going to recommend LinkedIn for everybody. But when you pick a first platform and do it really well, be consistent, have several messages a week, make sure you have your message buckets out there and you're sharing these different messages. But I really do warn people about trying to go too far, too many, too fast.
Yeah. I think that we feel pressure that we see other people that have been in the business a long time and maybe they're everywhere. They seem like they're everywhere, and should we be doing that? But I love that you said, Fran, pick one that maybe you're already in, because chances are your potential client, your potential customer are in the same one because you're hanging out in the same places. So pick one, do it well, have a consistent message. But when you're working through a social media for your business, because there may be things that you might be on social quite a bit, just or not very often, but you're looking at other people's scrolls and you're scrolling through the news feed and reacting to friends and family and things like that. I think that we need to remember that in our messaging, we are trying to make a connection. And small businesses are wonderful versus big corporations. We can make that connection with folks. And small businesses do not need the millions of people to do business with. They need a select few. Because I don't know about you, Fran, but I don't want a million customers because I couldn't handle it and I think I might implode, and I don't want that kind of stress. I want my work to be fun and I need just I just love my clients. So I like the ecosystem that we're providing. So I think with social media, really keep it real, keep it personal, keep it authentic. And I have a download that for businesses that have, I think it's 48 social posts ideas, because sometimes we're like, I don't even know what to post. And you can post things from behind the scenes, but like you said, if it works well for you, post your dog. If we work from home and I like to work from anywhere actually. So posts of me working out of our we call him Clifford, but our ambulance, you know, that those work in my social feed. Even taking pictures of my dog, you know, underneath my desk and talking about, man, I hope nobody on Zoom can hear this dog snore. It's real, right? And it may seem frivolous, but business does not always have to be serious. We're just talking about life in our work experience, giving value, tips of what you do to help someone else. It's all you share your expertise, you share the funny, you share the some serious, and then you tell people what you have to offer. You sprinkle it around. So I do have that download. The link is in the show notes, but I learned long ago that I just didn't have it in me to be in social every single day. As a business owner, it took a lot out of me to remember, oh my God, gosh. I just don't want to be in social. And then when I don't want to always be thinking about my business posts. I want to get into my Facebook or my Instagram and then just kind of react and make it fun for myself. And so long ago, I realized that I needed a process. And this was one of the first things that I could delegate in my business is social media management for consistent posts to keep that foundation. What about you? Did you have a streamline your social posts? I mean, how is that something that you delegate or do you do all your social yourself for
Live
your
it.
business?
So we often recommend having a day that has a theme, even if it's only internally. Some people do Throwback Thursday, Fun Fact Friday. I do 10 Touch Tuesday, and 10 Touch Tuesdays is mine. 10 Touch Tuesday is where I get to share a personal thought, philosophy, business strategy, whatever may be applied to a personal experience or personal way I approach business. You've heard me say this before. I believe it's all personal. I don't believe in the saying it's not personal, it's business, because especially for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, business owners, anybody doing a job, it's personal. We're the ones at the keyboard, we're the ones at the desk, we're the ones, it's people that make the difference. So it's all personal. Well, 10 Touch Tuesdays is mine. And I plan those out each month. And then my team does, I do somewhere from 2 to 3 posts a week, and they do the other two, 1 or 2 for the rest of the week. So they work quarterly to plan out our posts, average 8 to 10 a month on with our buckets on sharing about us, what we offer, and our messaging. And then 10 Touch Tuesdays on me, because that's what sets me apart with my business, because that's where you get to meet me and learn about what 10 Touch Creative is founded on.
Well, I think that if you're in business trying to grow and then you're utilizing social media, systems are super important. And as a business owner, we don't have to be in a social media account every single day. We don't. And if you systemize it, and I love that you said a couple of things. This is what we both did. You pick buckets or content categories or what have. There's so many different words, but we'll call them content categories or buckets. And you think of filling your calendar. Okay, I want to post for consistency 3 times a week. I'd start 3 times a week. A lot of clients come to us and they say, I want to post every day. And sometimes it's a little overwhelming for them. But then after you pick how many times a week, so let's say 3 times a week, then what is it? What days? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever. There's no wrong answer, just whatever. And then you had created a 10 Touch Tuesday bucket content category. And that to me, you have developed, okay, if it's 10 Touch Tuesday, this is me sharing my philosophies. This is me sharing a tip or sharing something to help uplift my audience. It's kind of therapeutic, isn't it? I mean, you're thinking into it and you're owning that content category. Then maybe you have a Saturday call to action. So a call to action bucket would be, hey, I've got this to offer, call to schedule or buy now or whatever that call to action is. That is super nice for your team to be thinking about such things because they've got a little bit different angle and you don't have to worry about that. And a lot of my clients, I don't know about you, have a tough time to say buy now. And if you have somebody on your team that's like, that's no problem. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm going to say buy now, type thing. So systemizing how many times a week, what are those buckets? And then you're picking a day, maybe once a month. Like I know that after we're recording today, you're going to say, this is my social media day. And you are creating 4 posts, just 4 posts for 10 Touch Tuesday that doesn't seem so bad. And then you're not even going to look at it again for another 4 weeks.
And once you get in the rhythm of it, so now that I've been doing it for a while, those posts are actually already ready to go. I have this little folder sometime, and God bless Google. I'm a Google user. My phone, my tablets, my computers are all connected. So no matter where I am, if the idea pops in my head, I drop it in this folder that I have labeled specifically for 10 Touch Tuesday. And whether it's the image or the thought, when I get to today, most of the work's already done because I now have this rhythm and I know what I want the images to look like. I know what I want the messages to be about. Something will happen. I'll go, oh, that's a perfect 10 Touch Tuesday. And I drop it in this little folder. I will tell you what I love about having the split time and having my team involved. And it reflects on what you were saying about the buy now. It's a great team building experience. We often are moving so fast during each week and month that we don't always take the true time to meet with our teams. Yes, we probably meet with our teams on a daily basis, but that real, how are we doing? How are we doing on our goals? How are we doing on our the things we want to achieve? By having them involved in social and talking through the posts and approving posts, kind of reaffirming the message and the drive and the purpose of the business. And you see them kind of get amped up and excited about it. And they'll even start going, I have them coming in and go, oh, that would be a good social post, wouldn't it? And, they have their own folders and ways to save. So social is about connection, not just with your audience, but it could be a great way to connect internally too.
I love that you said that because working with a team, whether you have an internal team or you have hired a social media manager to a contractor to help you with that, it takes that. You just can't just say, hey, just hire them. They need to get to know you so that they can get to know the voice of you. But they also need that connection, the back and forth, the feedback is super important. So I love that you said that it's a team building experience as well as a community building experience. I love that. And with having a system like that, like you are going into your social account once a month, you have your ideas formed in there. You're going to knock those 4 posts and you might say, oh, well, I have the bandwidth. I'm going to do 6 posts. So you do the posts that you've assigned to yourself once a month and then you're out of there. And what you create them and then you schedule them in the future. And we'll talk about different things, but like Facebook, within Facebook, you can schedule posts. In Instagram, I don't think you can schedule posts. Maybe you can on the business page now.
Meta, because because Facebook owns Instagram, you could do it all right.
Yeah, you can do it all in Meta now. And then you can, there's just different tools that we'll touch on. But I want to address that when you systemize that and then you free your brain of what am I going to post? Crap, I didn't post something today, and then trying to do it in the moment. If you have your special social media scheduling time once a month and then free your brain on that, then you can go in and just be free to engage the rest of the month. And that's the beauty of when you get to a point, if you're not doing your social media yourself and you hire a social media management team, because I think that if you have, as a solopreneur, if you have an assistant that helps you with the day-to-day stuff like email management and stuff to take some things off of your plate, I think the very second person, social media management, is super crucial in a small business because that is something that can save you a lot of time, build your team, and enhance your social presence and really get that marketing functioning. But when you delegate part of that to somebody else and even getting help with engagement and having it as a team effort, you free yourself to have the thought processes of, instead of, crap, what am I going to post today, to, hey, somebody responded, let me genuinely engage with folks. I think that is important because we do need to free our minds, and systems helps with that, to where we can be present when we need to. And I think it's always good that as a solopreneur, if you want to delegate it all, you can, and you still have that presence, because sometimes you may need to be gone from social, and it's okay. You have a team that's got your back, and you're still present in the social channels.
We also have we recommend this to clients, and we do it for ourselves. We have a library of what we call evergreen posts, right? And we both know what that is, but to those listening, evergreen means exactly what it says. It is, whether you see that post today, 3 months from now, 3 years from now, the content is still applicable and good. It applies to whether it be my company or your company or the industry you're in. So if I'm somewhere crazed and I get to that point where, oh my gosh, we forgot to post or got lost in something, we grab some evergreen posts. And if you're working in a good system, you have a way to go back in your library and find those and just say, okay, you know what, repost that. And this ties to our message of repetition, right? You want many of these messages to be repeated. You didn't have the time this month to plan new images, or go pull one, repeat it. No harm, no foul. In fact, often it's exactly what you need at that time. And if you have a good system, you have a content library that you can go and do that.
And my suggestion for any solopreneur, just compartmentalize and do it once a month. Do your social post once a month, and keep your plan simple. Even if you have not delegated to anybody and you're doing it all, once a month, do create 3 posts a week. You have 3 buckets. You set aside some time, and you create 12 posts in one sitting, schedule them, and be done with it. If that is what you need to do for the time period, that is great. Just keep it simple, and you're going to get some traction there. Now, one of the misnomers of our clients when they sign up for Done For You social media management services, then they think, oh, I can't post anything. It's all you guys, and I don't want to step on toes and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. No, this is a team effort. If you in your business, if you and your internal team do what we call ad hoc posts. See, our team does the consistent posts. We have our calendar, but those ad hoc ones, like if you're at an event and you do a selfie with somebody and you push that out, that's amazing. Or if you as a business owner is like, hey, I want to do 10 Touch Tuesdays, I want to own that, do that, because that makes your social feed that much more rich with authenticity. And you know that big players in the social realm, they don't necessarily, and if you think that they're everywhere and they're in all the social platforms, they have a team. They have a team, and the way that things are departmentalized, I guess you can say, they create their own systems. You don't have to do everything and do all things, but just because you delegate it does not mean that you're delegating everything. It's still your personal brand. It's still your brand and social feed. And a good social media management team that you might hire would have this process of open feedback, and they create the images and the posts, and you as the business owner have the opportunity to approve them. There's going to be times that you get connected with this team that seems like they could read your mind, and you don't even have to worry about approving those. It just depends. But I just want to encourage everybody, if you've delegated or you're thinking about delegating, you can kind of disappear for a little bit and let your team do the posts. But if you do those ad hoc ones, don't be afraid to do that. It's your stuff. It's your platforms. And I tend to get so involved in the business that I don't spend enough time in social, or I look at our clients' stuff and it's hard for me to do things for myself because, I'm in the business type thing. But I'm going to take your lead, Fran, on uh, owning one day and doing my own posts there, uh, because to me that also helps me think about my business in a way that evolves, and it's almost therapeutic. Therapeutic. I can't even say therapeutic. You know.
I totally agree. And to those who are nervous about getting in social or feel like they don't know what to say or what to do, I say this: one, keep it simple, just be yourself. And don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Yes, everybody should do some form of benchmarking and look at what competitors are doing or what similar businesses are doing, but don't let it make you so crazy that it keeps you off social. Well, I can't do videos like that. I can't do posts like that. I can't do animations like that. Who cares? Be yourself, be you, and put up something is better than nothing. You can evolve, you can learn, but waiting until you have some technique perfected or some technique learned, you're going to lose all that time. So just start with simple picture message posts and do something, because something is better than nothing. And when you pick that day, like we're talking about here, you're going to be so surprised how quickly you look forward to that day, because it's something fun. Again, social is fun, and how simple that day becomes. So I'm going to use an analogy here. I cannot stand doing payroll. That's my least favorite day. I love paying my people, but the payroll process, even though we have a very simplified process, it was something for me that just, I would go, oh, I gotta do it again today. I now have fine-tuned my process to now I get excited on Mondays. Hey, I'm doing my new little payroll process, and I get in. And the same can be for social for you. The same can be that, oh, this is a fun day. I'm going to sit with I make a little ritual. I sit in a different seat. I have my coffee. I'm a caffeine addict. And I have this little place that I sit and I do this, and it's like my little ritual. And I look forward to it now because it's the one time that brings me back to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So use social as a way to reinvigorate yourself, have fun, connect with your people, connect with your audience, connect with your followers. And to your point, Gayla, on this ad hoc post, if you are having this moment and your intuition is going, oh, I want to share this, do it. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Just enjoy the moment. You're out somewhere, you just met with a client, or you just saw your ad come up on a billboard somewhere. Snap the picture, share the post, enjoy the moment, and don't overthink it. Because sometimes we miss sharing these important personal connection moments because we let overthinking get in the way.
Yes. And when we say keep it simple, and we talked at the very beginning of this episode, you don't need to be everywhere in all the social platforms. For me, I enjoy Instagram the most. And so when I'm going to do an ad hoc post, it's going to be an Instagram. And then my team can see that, and then they can spread it. No, based off of what we do when we're in the marketing space, we are on a lot of different channels. And because we do a lot of experimenting. And for our clients, when they're ready to delegate and have done for you social media management, we are able to elevate them to keep them consistent and then put them in some other channels for different exposure. But usually our clients are comfortable in one, and we just say, hey, do your ad hoc stuff in that one. Don't overthink it. Like you said, Fran, don't overthink it that, okay, where's this going to be placed over here and this, that, and the other? And do I need to do this? And everything like that. And I think that we had been talking, it's like, if you want to try a different social channel, by all means do. There are so many different social channels, but just think about it of why. Why do you want to? Do you want to get into TikTok? I don't know. I have no desire whatsoever to be in the TikTok space. I have had a lot of advice, because that is a newer, well, especially a few years ago, in my circles, it's like, hey, everybody needs to get a TikTok. It's not just for kids. You can do this for your business and blah, 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 blah. Yes, if I would have devoted time and energy to learn that, then I'm sure I would see reactions. I would see growth. But for me, that would be the biggest fun sucker ever. And so I just don't want to do it.
And that is a perfect example of why not to put your energy there. So there's nothing wrong with any platform. But if you don't connect with it, if it doesn't resonate with you, you're never going to put the full energy behind your message into that platform because you're always going to be like, ugh, there's always going to be some turn off, some, I really don't want to be in here. Be where you feel most comfortable, most connected. I agree with Instagram. I find what they've done with their platform amazing with the reels and the stories and the collaborations. Bravo to what Meta has done with them. I also happen to love LinkedIn still because that's my industry family. I'm been in my industry for a long time. So to me, the people I'm connected with on LinkedIn are not just audience, it's also friends because I've been doing what I'm doing so long and traveled with so many people. So when I get excited to post on LinkedIn, I get excited to post on Instagram. Same thing. If someone loves to post on TikTok and they love to make those videos and that like comes naturally to them and it's easy and they can see and they can flow, do it. Pinterest, do it. If you love to expand your Google My Business page, whatever it is, as long as you love it, that will come through. And that's the first obstacle is to enjoy the process because social has two components. There's the quality and the quantity side. And the quality side is what the business owner is doing on their own. When you're posting, you're making those quality connections. If you're not in it, if your heart and your head aren't in it, it's not going to come through the right way.
Yeah. And I know on our team, Brandy, who is really into TikTok on her personal brand, and she even has some sponsorships and things like that. So that's what she does on the side. She's helping me get comfortable in the space of videos. Like, and I'm not going to do them on TikTok. I want to do them as Instagram, because that's where I want to do. And I want to do it just to enjoy the craft and to capture things. And I just need to systemize it so that I'm not spending a lot of time into it, but systemizing so that I can share. And, we can have these ad hoc moments, but they don't necessarily have to be shared right then, but you can capture the moment and then in your monthly bring it all together and schedule them, you have those moments just like what you have on your folder. You might have saying, oh, that's a good thing. It goes with any type of moments. You capture those pictures and just being comfortable with just capturing them. And I think that is fantastic. And that's one of the things. It's not just doing it. It's creating that system that fits for you and also using the right tools. There's a lot of scheduling tools out there, and we created Scrivener Social, which I'm super excited. This season is brought to you by Scrivener Social, and it is a scheduling platform that is easy to use for the busy solopreneur. And there are a lot of scheduling platforms out there, right? There's Hootsuite, there's Buffer. You can go into Meta and schedule your Facebook and stuff, and Instagram. But what's different about Scrivener Social is that we have opened up our playbook. We have opened up our processes here at Scrivener Solutions to help the busy solopreneur streamline their system. And sometimes it's so, we're busy. There's a lot that happens in our life. And we start to complicate things, and it's just simplifying that process to be consistent. Get you that strong foundation, whether you want to do all of your social posts yourself, or if you have a niece or nephew or your son or daughter or a friend that was going to help you out, but you really don't have a good system or workflow. I'll call it workflow because system can be a computer program or the way you do things. So having those paired together, I would love to teach more people to be efficient social media managers. And if you're a solopreneur, because that's what it's built for, you can do it and have our playbook open. We're an open book. We want to help you be more efficient and make it more fun because I'm in it all the time. And sometimes social can be a fun sucker until I have the workflow to where I sit down and I look forward to it like you do, Fran. You look forward to it. But if you don't have that good system or that good workflow, then you start to dread it because it's just not there. And the scheduling platform, it's an easy to use scheduling platform that has so many bells and whistles. But when you're first starting out, you don't need them. You just need to be consistent and go forward, but you can grow into the system.
I got to be a beta tester on Scripts. And so I can tell people firsthand that it's a game changer. That's my description of it. And I said it on the last beta tester call. I love saying I was a beta tester because it was both a privilege. Every beta session, I got more and more excited because yes, it has a lot of bells and whistles, but there's two things about that. One is they're easy to find and easy to use. Second, you don't have to your point, use those bells and whistles. But I've used a lot of the other schedulers. I've been there. And that's why I was really excited to be, I can say without a doubt, compared to those other systems. One of my other favorites is the inbox, which is a part of social that's really important, which is reputation management. Somebody comments on a post, especially if it's a question or a comment that's open-ended, you want to respond. You also want to thank those that give positive, and you want to make sure to address the negative ones in a positive way. And you should have, we talk about having scripts for that, but you do it all in one place. Wherever the comments pop up, you can manage that right in Scrivener Social right there. It's like a one-stop, just like I go in and check my posts and post my posts once a month. I can go in and check once a week or have my team check on the days I'm not checking the inbox and make sure we're addressing any comments that might come in. And the other is the analytics. It's so easy to use. Some of these other sites give you analytics. You're like, why? I don't even know what to do with this data. But to see the top hashtags, the right time my posts were most received, which posts are getting the most traction, actually see the post and know what interaction was happening on that post. I just can't say enough about the platform. It has, and what you all are designing in the support end of it and opening your playbook is brilliant because this fills a gap. Because right now, before Scrivener Social, you either jumped on one of those systems and you had to figure it out. Yeah, you might have gotten an onboarding call and there might be a million videos out there. But pretty much after you sign up, you're on your own. Or you were trying to do it yourself and it was not the simple process. It was bumbling along. You can now do it yourself, but with Scrivener Solutions at your side, with their playbook open and at a affordable price that makes the whole being in social fun again.
I appreciate those kind words, Fran. I'm super excited about. We have monthly calls that everybody in that membership level can come in and we can coach, answer questions, just complain. I mean, the algorithms change and all of these things. And if you're struggling in something or getting ideas and inspirations from other people that are in the membership, which is super fun. And we just need to make it fun, right? And some folks are not they consider themselves as technically handicapped. It doesn't have to be that way. And just drilling down in exactly what you need to do. And it should be a lighthearted type of atmosphere. And we're in it together. And I think a lot of times, especially solopreneurs, we feel like we're alone. And when we open ourselves up and devote the time, like we have those during our beta time, the beta testing, you had told me that, hey, we have our Zoom call for the beta team. And right after that, you jumped in and that was your social media day. And you had that experience of, I'm enthusiastic about it right now, and I'm just going to go in and do it. And that's what I want for everybody in the membership, is to be able to break it down, compartmentalize, and you don't have to be a social media manager every single day. Put on that hat once a month and then free yourself. You're too busy as it is. So you can have traction by focusing on social media in a systemized way.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Systems sound scary and complicated, but they're not. And having a process actually is the biggest time saver. And systems like this, biggest time saver you can employ.
And I have opened up our playbook, our workflow, and I have found that folks, we all get advice from folks, but you tweak it to fit into your atmosphere, how your brain processes things. Because you and I do things very similarly, but not exactly the same.
Right.
And everybody is different. So I think that when you participate in consulting and coaching and things like that, you have to be open-minded to try and then refine to make it work for you. So, but anything else, Miss Fran, about social media that you'd like to share or we need to remember?
I think I just want to say one last thing, which is about organic social.
Yes.
Organic versus paid. There are some out there who say organic is dead and the only way to build is to pay. And that's not true. Organic and paid go hand in hand. It depends on your product or your service or what you're trying to accomplish. But organic is where you develop your quality leads and your quality connections. And paid is where you develop your quantity. So depending on what you're trying to achieve, both have their place. And a good planned organic is as powerful as a good planned website. And it is still very important in a world of where we had too many systems of email blasts and just connection overload. The organic is where someone's saying, yes, I want to connect with you. I'm choosing this. I'm choosing to follow you. I'm choosing to say yes. Those are the ones where the connection gold lies in the future and building your target audience. So organic is not dead, and organic is just as important as the paid component. And have fun with it. Have fun with all of it. That's what social is all about. So
I love that you mentioned that, Fran, and touching on how do you get followers? Sometimes you can get strangers, but think about what you do personally. If you're out and about and you're talking with somebody and they ask you, what do you do? And there's that spark of interest and it's like, hey, let's connect on Facebook or let's connect on whatever. You're genuinely adding more followers through a verbal connection. I think people lose sight of that. They think that this is a digital thing that all of these people will just flow through you, but it starts with a connection, right? A connection that's genuine, that's face to face, that's you might meet somebody on a Zoom call, talk a little bit, but you want to know or you want to follow up with them or you want to just know more about them. So you naturally, it's like, oh, they have Facebook. I'm going to connect with them. They have LinkedIn. I'm going to connect with them. And that's how you grow your followers. You grow it organically. And as a small business, that's super important to not lose sight of. It's just the real connections. If you're a restaurant, a small town restaurant, you might have people, you're always going to have to remind them, follow us on Facebook. I love the little coffee shops, and if you see that repetitiveness of follow me on Facebook or whatever. I mean, why should I follow my bank on Facebook? And I have a local bank that only has like 4 branches, and I love them because I go in there and they know me. So don't lose sight that always saying, follow me on these socials, people will start doing that. But if you're a, a coach, consultant, or speaker, you have that personal brand, you may be just in a conversation and you might just say, oh, I share certain types of things on my Facebook page. Maybe we can follow. Or you're talking with somebody who's like, hey, I want to follow you. And that's organically building your audience. And don't lose sight of organically building your audience. Longer the days are the clickbaity. Don't fall for a vendor that says, hey, I can grow your Instagram by 10,000 people. As a solopreneur, I doubt that you'll need that. And just to have
it's the
just to
right.
have followers is not going to do you any good.
Nope. You want the right followers. Paid works, the right paid. Like you said, beware of those baiters, those, I don't want to call them necessarily scams, but things that are over promising. Because the real companies or the real ways that can help you is finding the right audience. And there are tools to do that. There are tools even between organically and paid, like a giveaway or a sweepstake or a free download that can help you too. But all of them work when done right and genuinely and authentically. So
And
I
you
just
need that organic, I think, because it shows legitimacy to when you have the paid and you have these sponsored ads, which are boosted posts or what have you. And that is fine. And that's a good tool to get into front of more eyes. But if you're not connecting on a more genuine level, when there's so many scammers out there, that even when you're a legitimate business and somebody does something to you, because we're all being scammed, if it goes to a site that has no activity, right, and you don't want to be in somebody's eyes a scammer, but you can elevate your message to get in front of other eyes, and the smart buyer is going to research you more. And when you're researching, you're going to research website, you're going to research social feed. And if there's nothing there on your social feed, or if it's all, I don't know, non-genuine posts, then they're going to turn away. Your legitimacy is going to be, I mean, it's just harder for us because there's so many spammers, and it's just going to get even more difficult. So that's why genuine connections, organic reach is so important.
So important. Couldn't agree more, Gayla.
I love it. I love our conversation, and I'd love for everybody to hop over to Facebook. We're talking about social media. We have a Facebook group, the Live Full Work Fun Facebook group, and we would love, Fran and I would love for you to share what your biggest takeaway was from today's show in the Facebook group. Well, thanks again for listening. And until next time, have a fantastic week. Live full, work fun. This episode has been brought to you by Scrivener Social, the easy-to-use social scheduling platform built for the busy solopreneur. You deserve a system that makes posting to your social media faster and more efficient. Go to scrivenersocial.com and subscribe today.